Did week one of the fantasy football season not go your way? Are you looking for some help out on the waiver wire? Well, you've come to the right place. Check out this video, folks. It's the Lateral Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Lateral Show. Fasten your seatbelts, because here we go.
Welcome back to another edition of the Lateral Show, a sideways look at fantasy football. If you don't follow me on Twitter already, you can do so by finding me at Herms NFL. And welcome back to the Fantasy Six-Pack YouTube channel. If you're watching the video instead, make sure if you're doing that, go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe. We would really appreciate it. We are here to help you in this video today to talk through the week 2 waiver wire because, look, there are a lot of players that got hurt in week 1. There are a lot of kind of surprise guys that were afterthoughts in the draft process that really popped off. So I'm here right now to preview my waiver wire article and help you get an edge. But if you want to read the entire article, you're going to have to find it behind the paywall. And if you want to get behind the paywall, you have to go to fantasysixpack.net/plans. You got to subscribe. You got to be part of the community on the Discord, okay? You got to get the DFS tools, okay? You got to have access to all of our award-winning rankings, right? And also, like I said, if you want to see all of my thoughts about what to do in the week 2 waiver wire for the 2022 fantasy football season, you have to be part of the all access. So I'm just saying, look, sign up. Do the thing. It's worth it. It's worth it, people. Now, just to kind of walk through some of the things that I'll be discussing in my article on fantasysixpack.net, boom, we start with just the top priorities on the waiver wire. And it kind of feels misguided to start with anything other than if you read my article about the pre-week 1 waiver wire stashes and went ahead and scooped Jeff Wilson Jr. of the San Francisco 49ers, then good for you. I don't say this as any sort of indication that I'm happy that Elijah Mitchell sprained his MCL and is going to be out for 2 months, because obviously I'm not happy about that. Nobody ever wants to see players get hurt, but it's a Kyle Shanahan backfield, and the 49ers always go with some sort of weird, frustrating committee. So if you stashed Jeff Wilson Jr., good for you. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go pretty big. If you're in a traditional waiver wire setup where it just goes through the waiver order of like the reverse standings and everything, good luck. If you're not toward the top of that, you're probably not going to get them anyway. If you're in a fab budget situation, you may have to blow the load and just go for it. But I got to be honest with you. I'm the type of person that when I'm looking at running back situations, especially in committees, I like to go for the cheaper cost investment in terms of the person that could benefit from an injury. I think Jordan Mason, the rookie out of Georgia Tech, is somebody that kind of fits this bill pretty well. Also, mind you, in the article, I reference this little interview blurb from NBC Sports, the local affiliate out in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan, words, specifically mentioned Jordan Mason was kept on the roster because they were nervous about if they cut him, that another NFL team was going to scoop him up. That's why they let go of Trey Sermon and kept Jordan Mason. So I don't know. If you're looking for a chess, not checkers type move, maybe don't blow the entire load on Jeff Wilson. I would probably just go with Jordan Mason if I'm picking a running back from that team to invest in. But if you're looking for wide receiver help, look no further than Curtis Samuel of the Washington Commanders and Zay Jones of the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of interesting stuff kind of came out of that game, especially Curtis Samuel. Now, last offseason, the Washington Commanders signed Curtis Samuel to a 3-year, $34.5 million deal in free agency, but a groin injury that cropped up basically at the beginning of training camp last year cost him his entire season. He only appeared in 5 games last year and really didn't do a ton. But if we remember, this is a coaching staff that came over from Carolina that initially kind of drafted Curtis Samuel and worked him through the early parts of his professional career. Also, on top of the 11 targets that Curtis Samuel saw in Sunday's action, He saw 4 carries for 17 yards. Not bad, because for as much time as we spent in the fantasy offseason kind of, hypothesizing and theorizing, well, who's the next Deebo Samuel? Turns out it was just the guy that shares the same last name. We saw it at different points in his career, even in Carolina. His last 2 seasons there, he had 60 carries. Also, when he was at Ohio State, Curtis Samuel, I'm pretty sure was classified as a running back. He ran the ball a lot in college too. The versatility in that offense is something that could be very intriguing. And honestly, for as good as Jahan Dotson was with his 2 touchdown performance, I would prefer going after Curtis Samuel as probably the cheaper and less trustworthy option in the eyes of the vast majority of the fantasy football community. Now, to turn things over to Zay Jones, I referenced this in the last episode of the Lateral Show, if you guys remember. I thought maybe, kind of stash him on the bench, see what happens. He could be the number 2 opposite Christian Kirk. We'll see, whatever. I also tweeted about it and put it into existence. So if you're looking for receipts, I got him. It's in the article. 9 targets. I mean, dude, he was really good. He was really good. And just by watching the game, 3 of his 9 targets that he saw in the game were in the end zone. Looks from Trevor Lawrence to Zay Jones in the end zone. Now, one of them was kind of an errant throw, and another one, the cornerback Fuller kind of got a good read on it, but they looked for Zay Jones in close, and he scored 12.5 PPR points in that game. So, I'm just saying, while other people are going to be looking toward maybe a Jahan Dotson, like I mentioned, or a Jarvis Landry, who you probably should have picked up if you read the Week 1 Stashes article, like I told you to. Take a look at Zay Jones. I think he could be an interesting ad for sure. But to kind of wrap things up with the quarterbacks, if you had Dak Prescott, who unfortunately is going to miss a decent amount of time with his thumb injury that occurred in the Sunday Night Football game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or you're just somebody that was not thrilled with the Week 1 quarterback that you picked up, what about Jameis Winston? Okay, I talked about it in the Stashes article, and he delivered. He delivered. He did the thing that we kind of expected him to do. As I referenced in that article, 3 of the next 4 games for the Saints are against teams that ranked in the bottom half of the pass coverage grade versus receivers per PFF, with the exception of next week's matchup against Tampa Bay, who I just got finished talking about. And that's kind of a mess. Maybe you don't want to trust Jameis Winston next week in the difficult matchup against that Bucs defense that held the Dallas Cowboys without a touchdown, also being the only team in Week 1 that didn't score a touchdown. I get it. Maybe you're a little hesitant. I have a good Week 2 streamer for you if you don't want to go with Winston, but if you're looking for long-term value at the quarterback position, I think I got your guy. Jameis Winston is probably the best bet that you're going to have out on the waiver wire. Shout out Geno Smith, though. He did pretty good on Monday night against the Broncos. That's going to be it for the preview of the waiver wire article. But, like I said, you're not going to be able to read the entire thing unless you go to fantasysixpack.net/plans and sign up for an all-access pass to everything we have to offer on the website, the DFS tools, the award-winning rankings, access to the DFS and Discord community, and also just the rest of the article that I spent all of this time making the video previewing for you. So please, subscribe. Be part of it. It would be so much fun. Oh my God. Till next time, this has been The Lateral Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's The Lateral Show. Fasten your seatbelts, because here we go.